Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Hope your day has started out well. Just wanted to touch base with you. Today would have been my day to write for Pursuing Virtue, and so we decided to do a video message instead of writing. So that's why I'm here doing this morning. So just wanted to check in on everybody. Hope your day has gone well so far. Being that we're kind of in the midst of a national crisis, I guess, we just kind of wanted to be a little more interactive and just let you know that we're there for you. We're pulling for each other. We are in this together. Don't forget that. But that being said, just kind of wanted to go through a couple of thoughts I've been having here recently, and got here this morning. You hear it on the news, but whenever you walk into the hospital, it's kind of like, this is really real. And so it's, it becomes very personal, I guess you want to say. For me, it does anyway. So I've tried to have a balancing act, I guess, of knowing what's going on, but yet trying not to, overreact either way, because both can be a little bit detrimental, but you don't want to ignore and cause more harm, but at the same time you don't want to overreact and create anxiety either. So there's this great balancing act, and tried to use some wisdom in that. But anyway, I do use Clorox wipes. I try to get all that stuff taken care of, but I'm not obsessive about it. At the same time, I do wash my hands. I want my kids to wash their hands. We want to do this right. We don't want to cause any more damage than we have to, but at the same time we want to use wisdom and not creating anxiety in them either. So very interesting little juggling act there. But I wanted to just touch base with you this morning about that particular thing, balance. That's been my word for the year. Didn't realize it was going to be so, I guess, needful during these times, but here we are in a global pandemic. That word kind of just, sounds a little bit eerie, I guess, but one of the things that I have thought on many times since this has started, when I was a kid, my mom used to have this quote. It was her favorite quote whenever we would walk out the door for any reason, school, to go interact with other kids our age, or, we got older, got independent, doing things on our own. She always had this comment to us as we left. It was, remember who you are. That meant two things. That meant you're our kid. Don't go disappoint, embarrass, and, make us look horrible. Do what we've taught you to do. And two, you claim to be a Christian. Act like it. And so throughout these times of watching all the chaos, the hoarding, the worry, the anxiety, all the things that have been very transparent here in the last few weeks, I've thought about that comment a lot. Remember who you are. Who are we? This is the balancing act of, everywhere you turn, there's noise. I can't even walk into a waiting room anywhere in this hospital and the news isn't blaring about the coronavirus, And I know people want to know about it, but there's just so much noise. But there's the balancing act of, I have to remember who I am. Who am I? I am a child of God. And so while the world is going crazy on one side, over here in my mind and in my heart, I have all of these things that I've hidden in my heart for times like these, that I know that if, the word says, thou will keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth thee. And so those are things that I know, the world may be going crazy over here, but God has given us that promise of peace if we'll just keep our mind and thoughts on him. At the same time, you have all of the crazy and all of the chaos. This shouldn't take us by surprise. We do belong to Christ, and we have record in his word that these things are going to come. And so these things can't just knock us, our feet out from underneath us and take us under. We should be prepared for these things to a degree. not because, honestly, I really never thought about pestilence in the last days being a virus that was going to, affect so many people, but maybe it is. Maybe, we can't rule that out. And so while the world is kind of not, sure what's going to happen, we have the promise, two promises. One, that God will not forsake us at any point in this. And the other thing is that, we've got another promise. Christ is coming very soon. You walk outside and you can see some pretty clouds out here in Savannah today. And I remember Magruder's used to sing an old song, "See those clouds? They're the ones he's coming back in." So don't let the chaos of the end times sweep us off our feet and make us go wild and crazy like the rest of the world. We have to remember who we are in Christ, and that he will not leave us. He will not forsake us. So keep that in mind. If you're anxious, if you're worried, if you are letting the noise get inside your head and make you, incapacitated or debilitated by all the fear, remember who you are. You will not be forsaken, but you have to trust him. This is the sifting of, do I believe it or do I not believe it? And so that's a scary question. We really need to do some self-examination. Is this what I believe? Is this the end times? If so, man, I've got to get my heart prepared for the coming of Christ. And so this is the balancing act. The world's going nuts on this side, but here's this balancing figure. God is going to keep us in his, what? If the coronavirus comes to the Miles family, it was our time. We win either way because we have put our faith and our trust in him. Hopefully it won't. Hopefully we'll get to continue on, all will be well. But just because if it hits our family, that doesn't change the fact that God's not good. God is always good. God is always faithful. And so I don't want us to forget that. We can't forget who we are and who we are in Christ. So in these times, remember my mom's quote, remember who you are. Don't let the anxiety get to you. Don't let the fear overwhelm you, because you have a comforter that's greater than any comfort this world can give.